financial services disproportionately because it ends up supporting or enabling so much of the real economy. And that can work both ways. In this case, naturally, it is the positive step. So there is a hopeful positive move. I would directly look at both on the consumer side. Consumer spends should go up dramatically in the coming quarters. In addition, we have a large lending portfolio to MSMEs. That should benefit as well. And, over the last few years, we've been looking at what it takes to get private sector to bring in new investment. And while a number of factors have provided tailwinds, the larger external uncertainty and impact of wars, it has been external situations that has held private sector back. I think this kind of a boost should encourage a number of sectors now where they've reached significant capacity utilization to start looking at the next investment cycle very seriously.
As someone said, and I think that was an apt point to make, if on cars, for example, rates are cut, it's not necessary that the demand for, people will immediately start buying more cars. But the point is there is more savings in the hands of the consumers. So that category it's very difficult to put numbers to it, whether, a cut of 10% will lead to this much volume jump. But broadly, because it's happened on so many items across the board, more money in the hands of consumers. And that is a broader kind of call. But if I were to press you a little bit more, Mr. Bajaj, which lending segment, according to you, will you think do very well? You mentioned SMEs, MSMEs. Where else?
Very much consumer lending. Consumer lending is for Bajaj Finance one of our largest areas. So we should clearly see over there. And as you said correctly, Prashant, the money that gets saved now in the hands of both the rural and the urban consumer partly will get spent. And keep in mind that there was a negative emotion due to the external uncertainties, the trade issues. I think a large part of that can get resolved with this positive step. So if people were sitting on the fence and not spending in the last couple of quarters, hopefully many of them will get convinced to spend. For the rest, they will still be saving an additional amount of money. And as we have seen in the last few years, that additional money now is not just going into buying a second house or investing in fixed assets. It is going now into financial assets. Look at the monthly inflows into mutual funds. And this will help the economy as well. Because as we are trying to build the real economy over the next decade and more, we need a very solid financial services economy to fund the real economy. So I think this provides the start of very strong tailwinds for that as well.
Late July, when we spoke with the Bajaj Finance management, this is after, of course, the results, the commentary was, you would acknowledge, cautious, right? A little modest. And markets did take note of it, and because, it's such a behemoth and leader in pretty much all the segments. Do you think these cuts help change some of that sentiment, that cautiousness? Have you spoken internally? Have you had a huddle internally with the finance team in terms of how they are thinking about it? Anything you can tell us?
I would say broadly, of course, it will have a significant positive momentum. What that is expected to be, that is something that the team will work on and the team will talk at the right time.
Okay. Will you allow me to push you a little bit more? I think you had said that AUM growth guidance, 23 to 24%, but you said, your lending business said, we will revisit this post the second quarter. Would you want to preempt that? Broadly, without being specific, and we want to, of course, hold you to numbers. But any thoughts on what kind of lift this could provide?
I can only say it will be positive, and I think that's common sense. Beyond that, the team has to run its numbers. They have to do their job. I'm not going to do their job for them.
No, absolutely. Fair enough. On some of the stress formation, etc. as well, maybe in some segments, does this help, Mr. Bajaj, to alleviate some of it?
It's too early to say, but see, there is more money coming into the individual's pocket or the MSME's pocket. So by definition, that should help. So I think your questions are all fair. Given that this is a 24-hour announcement, it will need a little bit of time to get into detailed numbers. But all this should be positive. But I'd also like to stress, given my role at CII, that we're very grateful that a large number of the CI suggestions have found their way in these GST rationalization moves. And once again, goes to show the very significant collaboration that the industry association like CII has with the government towards this.
Mr. Bajaj, let me ask you about on the insurance side, right? There it's not very clear. We've spoken with a couple of insurers since the morning that, getting the rate down to zero on policies, health, life, etc., will result in lower premiums. I mean, that math doesn't quite add up because of input taxes and, the ITC benefits not being available. Can you tell us what the thinking there is?
So our teams are just calculating the numbers. Of course, there will be some ITC credit that will not come, but I think net, first cut, and again, don't hold me to it, I don't have the numbers, but first cut, it should benefit positively. How much? This is something that we will know soon as we start calculating it.
You're saying it should result, I mean, at a headline level, there should be some reduction in premiums.
Yes, I would think so. Now, what it is, when it is, what products, prospectively, new products, these are details that the team has to work on. So I can't answer that at this point of time.
As head of the industry body as well, Mr. Bajaj, when the representations were made and you just said that, the government has sort of agreed to most of it. On the insurance side, at least what we were picking up is that the industry did not want zero, because with zero under the current rules, you can't have input tax credits. It doesn't allow for it. So a bit of disappointment there, or no? Not really?
So you see the benefit of that ability to set off input tax credit would have gone completely to the consumer. So from that point of view, if he had been able to do that with maybe putting this into the 5% slot, that would have benefited the end policyholder that much more. But we still think that it's a big step from where we were till 2 days ago. And maybe this is something to keep in our pockets for the next time this gets rationalized.
In terms of in the order on the insurance business, Mr. Bajaj, life, general, health, I mean, how does it, who benefits most and who benefits least? I mean, if you were to request you to order those lines of businesses, because it's different for different, right? On the health side, for example, the rate of reinsurance where ITC is available is lower. Whereas for other lines, it is higher. So, I mean, just in terms of ordering of benefit, where would you place which one?
So the quick read that I've done, firstly, the cuts on life and health. Health can either be a standalone company or it's part of the general insurance company. Benefit will come on both. But as you correctly said, depending on what's the build-up on the ITC side, the benefit could be slightly different. I don't have those exact numbers right now. That's something that we are working on.
Mr. Bajaj, thank you very much. First cut reaction coming through, but I think it's very, very useful. But I think the message is very clear across your lines of businesses. On the lending side, there is a boost coming. You're not putting numbers to it, understandable. On the insurance side, there will be a cut in premium. How much, when, etc. That's being worked out as we speak. Thank you once again, Mr. Bajaj, for joining us. Okay, well, that's Sanjiv Bajaj, head of Bajaj FinServ, with a perspective. I guess let's just take a quick commercial break here, and we'll have more for you on the other side.
ushers in a new era of simplification and possibly a new era of ease of doing business as well. It will have a very significant impact on consumption. And this is something that should, in some ways, create that momentum that we were looking for in the economy A lot of the fundamentals have been in place, but I think this is a very significant move that will create that momentum and propel India to an 8 to 10% growth rate overall. So that is the reason why we feel it is a very important milestone for our economy and sets it up in the right way.
Tractors gets a big boost, 12 to 5%, which will lead to prices coming down 40 to 60%. There is limited time to capitalize the upside in the festival period. We are literally 20 days away from the festival period. We can't increase capacities or production outputs. Festival period is a 30-40 day period. So I honestly don't think we're going to get a wholesale billing upside in the short run. This is more a long-term game.